things that you have in life, like your friends, your family, or your partner, or whatever it is. But if you're grateful, you will always look at each day and take it, rather than be like, oh man, I'm dragging my feet.
Right.
You know. But if you're grateful for being there, man, I'm telling you, you're always gonna be there for a long time. And I was telling him that. So.
Beyond
Come
just,
on, man, let's go fight. What is this? What is this?
No,
Dr.
actually, that's
Phil?
what, no, that's what I was about to go to. Actually, beyond your fight with Jesse Magdaleno, we have Oscar Valdez versus Hiroshogi Osawa, and also
Say it again.
Hiroshogi. I don't know how to say it properly. I'm gonna try to attempt to butcher it. And then we also have Zhu Shiming on the card. It's a very
what?
We have Zhu Shiming. I can say his name properly.
I can't say his name either. So.
All right. But what are your thoughts on the card as a whole? Zhu Shiming opening the card, then Valdez and Osawa, then yourself and Magdaleno, and then also Pacquiao versus Vargas.
Man, that's a great card. I mean, again, it's a historical card with me and Manny for the Filipino community. But you got Shiming, who who's making his name, who's a gold medalist, and then of course you have me and Magdaleno. You know, 'cause I said Jesse in my head, and then but with Magdaleno and the hunger that he has, the redemption and hunger that I have, it's gonna be an interesting fight. It's gonna be an all-out fight, because for him he's all or nothing, because this is his make or break point. But at the same time, for me, it's the same way. And then you have Oscar Valdez, who's an up-and-coming guy who's just incredibly talented.
What are your thoughts on the main event? Obviously, the big fight, the legend Manny Pacquiao versus the champ Jesse Vargas. A lot of people don't necessarily really like this fight. A lot of people wanted it to be Terrence Crawford, but Jesse Vargas does bring a lot to the ring. He has a very good style. He could be a brawler and a boxer. Always walks around with a chip in his shoulder, and that type of fighter right there is dangerous, especially if you really have nothing to lose. You may have that belt to lose, but if you lose it to a legend, it's not as losing it to like an up-and-comer or a challenger.
Well, nobody likes to lose their belt, regardless if it's a legend or not. You know, you go out there and you fight, and that's one thing that Jesse is gonna do. Is he's gonna fight his art. You know, Vargas, he's gonna fight his heart out. You know, and the thing that people don't take point of how technical Jesse can be. You know, and we know how sometimes Pacquiao has a difficulty with technical fighters. You know, and so that's why this is going to be an interesting fight, because not only that Jesse's technical, but he's young, but at the same time he's way taller than Manny. But of course, if Manny shows up, the Manny that we saw a couple years back, then he's going to be a very, very dangerous Manny. But that's sometimes what we're looking forward with Manny. But then, because of all the distraction that he has, will he show up as the Manny a year younger?
Canelo Triple G. Will that fight happen? And part two of that question is Oscar De La Hoya slowing that fight up?
In your eyes.
In my eyes. In your eyes, yes.
In my eyes. I was about to start singing.
You're about to sing. You're about to sing Soundgarden, aren't you?
Yeah. Canelo's a great fighter, and as well as Triple G. And they're both dangerous fighters. They both can box. They both can counter. They're pretty much the same type of fighter, just the Mexican style and the Russian style, you know. And they're both dangerous. And I think that's going to be an incredible fight. Will that fight happen? I think so. If they continue to win that fight, they will not go anywhere else. Because when they start taking everybody down, chopping everybody down, there's only two of them. And what happens is it's going to be a mega fight. You can push it all you want, and that's fine. People don't understand, because what happens with this era and time is instant gratification. We want it now.
We do.
Yeah.
We want it now.
Agreed.
You know, and look what happened with Mayweather and Pacquiao. It became a 200-300 million fight. Will Triple G and Canelo get to that level? Well, we know that Canelo can pack 50,000 people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the same time, added to Triple G's fan, that's much more. And I think Vegas in itself will sell out. You know, and not only that, but when it comes down to becoming a fight that people really want to see, it's a mega fight. And you know, and I keep telling people this, it's like, boxers don't become boxers to run away from other boxers. Just doesn't. I mean, you know, they're gonna have advice from people because their manager are afraid to tell it. But sometimes if a fighter says, I want to fight this guy, and then his manager says, no, that's too dangerous, they're not gonna fight. Because sometimes it's the manager and the promoter that makes the fight. You know, as much as the fighter wants to, but it's like the advice of, you know, if you want to make a lot of money in the future, let's play this game. You know, like there's a lot of things that goes behind it, and what you see is the surface of it, not the root.
Pound for pound is a mythical ranking that all of us have, media members, fans alike. You were a pound for pound champion at a point. Right now, besides yourself, who would you say is the